Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this video, we are going to create a web application where we will perform calculated operations. So what kind of operation we are going to perform in this video or in this web page? So we are going to perform operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and remainder. So in video, I have explained you and I have shown you that how we can create web application where we can do the addition. So this is the same page. Just now we added few more buttons to perform different operations. So how we can implement these things we are going to learn in this video. So by implementing all this logic, by creating the web page in this way, we are going to learn form layout. We are going to learn about input text, button event, that is ojAction event, action chain in depth, and what is the assign variable and the fire notification. All these things we are going to learn in this video. So let's begin to the practical part. So here friend, you can see this is the application we created previously. If we'll execute the integrate this application, you can see in the application having the buttons where when we will click on that button it will return back the result, and we have the two input box and third input box is hidden. So whatever value we are going to perform, it is going to return back the addition of that two number and all. So we have to create a new application where we are going to perform that operations, the remaining operations. So let me first create a new application. So we already have created the application name as addition app. In that application, we have one page. The flow, that is, you can see the main flow, we have addition. Inside that only we are going to create another page. So how we can create the page? For creating new page or creating new application, we have to go here. For creating new application, as you can see, this addition is application, web application. Inside web application, we can have multiple web pages. So right now in addition web application, we have only one web page, that is main start. So if we want to create another page here, you can click here. You can see in the inside the main flow, we have the plus icon. Once we will click, it will ask to create a new flow or the page. So I want to create a new page. So I will select the create page. And here this is the name we have to provide for the page. So I want to provide the name page like main calculator app, calculator web page. Sorry, web page. I want to give name something like that. Just click on create. So new web page will be created. So here you can see this is the new web page we have. And in this, by default, whenever we are going to create any web page, this all details we are getting by default. So if you want to delete, we can go directly to the code and we can delete the code. So our page will be empty now. So here you can see in the previous page, that is main start page, once we will click here, we have already added all these things. So as you know that whenever we are creating any application and in that application we are adding any components, by default code, JavaScript code for that components already written. So if you will go to the code part, we have code for all these things. So what we will do, we will copy the same code so that we don't need to drag and drop all the elements again and again. For that, what we will need to do, we need to go to the main start page, and this is the design of the page. So I will go to the code and I will copy the design of this page. So here I have just copied the code, and now go to the main calculator web page. This is the page, go to the code and here paste the code. So once we will paste the code, the design will be same as the previous page. You can see the main start page having the same design as here. But if you remember, here we created three different variable for that. So now in this page also we need to create the variable, right? You can see the previously created variable, that three variable, is not able to get here in the new page. You can see variable is empty. Why? Because we created this variable for page level only, right? So again we have to create that same variable. So for instead of creating the same variable, right, you can see that whatever element, whatever things we are going to do here, for each and everything we have the code. So if you'll go to the JSON, for main start JSON, you can see the code for all these three variable, the var num1, type is number, all these things. And here you can see for that button code, we have written that OJ button action layout and all these things. So I will copy this code again, and here I will go, and again in the JSON part, as we get copy of main page from JSON, so again we are going to go for this page, calculation page, go for JSON and remove all these things and paste this code. So once you will paste the code, you can see the variable now created, this 3 variable with the same name created. And we have 2 event listener already created where whatever we given in the code. Now if you will go to the page designer, here we have, if you will see here, we created the event, right? In the button, you can, if we will move to the properties, here you can see the event we created and the action chain, button action chain. But in this page, we don't have action chain. If you will see the button, we don't have any event for the action chain. Why? Because we created new page and we have to create the action chain. So if you will go to the action chain here, you can see we don't have action chain, but in main page, we have the action chain here. If you go to the action chain here, you can see we have button action chain. If you will open, this is the action chain created. And for this action chain, we have the code. If you will click here, this is the code. For the same, we are going to create a new action chain. So how we can create? This is our page. And here I will select the button, go to the event, and here create a new event. So instead of creating new event, what we will go? We will go for new custom event. And here, what event we want to perform? We want to perform button event. So what is the button event? That is ojAction. Select and select. And here you can see it is asking to select the action chain. As we have not created any action chain, we need to go for new action chain, right? So new action chain created here, you can see. So right now, if previous action chain, you can see we have the design, right? Assign variable, fire notification. But in this case, we don't have anything, right? So we have to add the code. So you know that for each and every action we added, we have the code. So I will go to the code and I will copy the code. And again in new page, again I will go and here we will copy the same paste. And once we will paste, go to the design, you can see the same added here. So now our page is ready to run as we added all the things. If you will click here in the button, you can see the one event created, the name as button action chain and all the details. If we will run this code page, so let me change the name as addition to calculator operation, right? So now our page is ready. So in this page we have only one button, right? Just for testing purpose, if I will run the page, this page will not load here. Why? Because by default we have previously page added by default in this application. So if you will go to here in the page, if you will select the main flow, here you can see in the setting, we have the default page as main start. So if we will run the application here, even we are on the page main calculator page, right? If we will run, it will not run the calculator page. It will run the previous page only. Because in the application we have flow and we added the flow default page as previous page. You can see the addition page. Now we have to change. For changing that one, what we can do, we have to go for main here. This main is for this one, right? And here in the setting, we have default page. So I will select this default page as main calculator. Now done. I will remove this one. And if you will go and if you will run the page, right? You can see now the default page will be open as the calculator operations. Okay, it's not coming. Let me check again. So here, go to the main setting. Okay, details. Yeah. Now it's saved. It's saving, right? We delete previously earlier, right? So go to the main and now if you will run this one, it will load a new page we created as a calculator operation. You can see this is the new page created. If we will perform the operation 12 plus 223 addition, it will show the result in the same way, right? Now we have to add multiple buttons, right? So here we will go to the designer page, and in designer page, we know that we can directly copy and paste the code or we can drag and drop the button. So first let me change the design of this button as per the screenshot I have shown you. Here you can see the design of this button in the dark, right? So how we can change? Select the button, and here if you will see, select the button, and here you can see the chroming. If you will go to the chroming, here we have call to action. Once you will select, you can see the button design is changed to dark mode. Now go to the code, and here you can see the same chroming added here. right? So now we have to add multiple buttons. So what I will do, I will just copy this code and I will paste the code here. And instead of this action, right now we don't have action for this one, so I will delete this action here. Now here I will change the name addition to subtraction, and I will change the icon. If you will go to the design, you will be able to see another button added here with the subtraction message. Now the same way we will create, but here if you will see, for this button we don't have any event. We will create the event, right? So go to general again, and here we have to add another button. So again I will go to the code. So instead of dragging and dropping the same element again and again, it will be easy to go to code and just copy and paste, because if you will drag the button here, the default button will be in the simple format. So as we have changed the format of button, style of the button, right? So we don't want to do again. So I will again copy this one and I will paste here. So this is the third button for multiplication. Give the icon as multiplication. And the new button I want to create for the division, and I will give the symbol as slash. Another button I want to create for reminder, and this is the symbol for reminder, right? So now we all added all these buttons, and if you will go to the design, you can see all the buttons already created. But right now we have not added event for each any of the button. If we will run the page again, you can see, you will be able to see the button, but we don't have any action or any operation on that button. Right, if we will give the value 12 2 and we'll click on this button, there will not be any operation. For that, we have to create the event, right? So as you can see, we already created the event for this action addition button. For that event, we have the action chain, right? So if you will go to the action of this page in action, and here you can see we have the action, that selected action as button action chain. If you will go click here, all the action chain created here, it will be reflected. Now we have to create a new action, right? New action chain. For creating new action chain, you can click on this action chain, give the name as, suppose I want to go for subtraction. So I will SUBTR, subtraction action chain, subtraction button action chain. Let me add. Now here we have to select the code. So I will go for the JavaScript only, because previous code was in JavaScript only. So click on create. So you can see new action chain, that subtraction button action chain created. We don't have anything here. And I told you that how we can copy the action chain code. So if you will go to the previous action chain, that is button action chain, we have the code. So I will go to the code, and this is the code for new action chain. I will copy this code. And again, I will navigate to the subtraction button action chain, and I will go to the code and I will paste the code here. So once we will paste the code, if you will go to the design, you can see our action chain is added here, but we have to change the message, right? So again, go to the code, and here you can see we have operation as plus, but this is for subtraction. So I will change the operation as minus. So the first number will be subtracted by second number, the var number 2. And here in notification, we want to change the message. Instead of addition, I will give subtraction as subtraction of num1 and num2 is the result value. Now if we will go to the design, this is the design we have already created. So now this is the action chain. This action chain, you can see the subtraction button action chain. We want to add this chain with this button action, button event. So select the button, go event, and here you can see new event, create a new event. And here in new event, what event we want to go for? We want to go for ojAction. Yeah, as this is the button event, right? So select ojAction and select here. And now here we have to select the action chain. Previously we don't have action chain, that's why we go for new action chain. Now this time we have to select the action chain created. So we created the action chain as subtract button action chain. So I will select this action chain and we'll click on this select action chain. So now you can see this subtraction button is attached with the event, and the action chain is subtraction button action chain. So now if you will go live to this page, and if you will check the button action, this will be performed. The same way we will go for different action. So here if I will provide 12 minus 8, if we will click on the subtraction, it will return back the result. Subtraction of 12 and 8 is 4. And here you can see 12, 8 minus is 4. If I will click on addition, 12 plus 8, it is 20, it will return. But multiplication and the division, we don't have code. Now we have to add the code for these three buttons. So same way, whatever we use to add the event action chain for subtraction, we will go for these remaining three. Right? So go to web page, and now here again we will create the action chain. So go to the action, and here we have to create new action, right? So I will go, and here I will give the name as multiplication button action chain. Now click on create. As I will select the JSON JavaScript only, I will show you when we will select JSON what will happen in next video. Click on create. New action chain created, but we don't have anything, right? So first I will create action chain for all this button, then I will provide the code. So now create a new action chain, and this action chain will be for division button action chain. This is the name, and I will click on create. Now I will create another action chain, that is reminder button action chain. I am just going to explain you each and every point so that it will be easy for you to design and develop the web pages in VBCS. Create. So now we created all the event. Now what we will do, I will just make a copy and paste for the previous one. So I created the subtract one. I will go to subtract, go to the code, and I will just copy the code here. And the same code I will go and provide for the multiplication. So here right now we don't have anything. Go to the code and paste, remove the previous code, paste the new code, and here instead of subtraction message I will provide multiplication of, it will return back the runtime value number 1 and number 2 is value. And here instead of subtract we will use the multiplication as asterisk operator, right? If we will go to the design, we successfully able to add the mapper. Here you can see in the assign we have the multiplication operation, and in the fire notification we have the multiplication message. These two action we perform in a single time hit only, that using the code here, right? You can see this is the variable assign. You can see this is the JavaScript code for that, right? So go to the design. Now same way we will go for the division. So here I will select the division. Right now we don't have anything. The simple way can be, we can drag and drop here, assign and all. Here you can see we can drag the assign, we can select the variable as I have shown in the previous one, right? So what we can do, we can drag the assign operation. Here we have to select the variable. So variable will be var result, and the value will be go to the x, and here we have to select the num1 plus num2. So here if we will see, we can go for number and number 1, and division. For division we have to use the division operation, and again another number, and here we have to drag and drop the second number. Save. So now you can see this added. If we will go to the code, for the code same, for this code you can see this is added. Here you can see this is the same variable. So instead of doing these things again and again, I will just delete the code, and I have already copied, I will paste it here. So now you can see here we have variable result is equals to subtraction, as I have copied the subtraction code only. So remove the subtraction with the division operation. Now here instead of subtraction I will use division of num1 by, instead of by num2 is this one. Go to the design, and you can see here the assignment, this one, division, and here division. Now again I will go for the reminder. So again in reminder we don't have any action added, so I will add the action by going to code here, right? So I will remove this code as I have already copied the same code, and if you will see I will paste this code here. So now you can see we have again the result variable should having the reminder. For percentage operation we have for the reminder, and here I will put reminder of number 1 divided by number 2 is. And now go to the design, and here you can see we have all this thing. So now we already created all the action chain. Now all these action chain need to be mapped with the button, right? Need to be mapped with this button. So how we can map? So select the button, go to the event, and here right now we have to create a new event, right? So you can directly select here or go to the new custom event. Go to the custom event. Here I will select the button ojAction, select, and it will ask for the action chain. So this action chain is for multiplication. So I will select the multiplication button action chain created. Select the action chain. So now multiplication action button is ready. Now go for division. Again perform the same operation. Go new OJ button, OJ action, select, and here this is for division, right? Select division, select. You can see this, the action chain added here, division button. Now again, we will go for reminder. Select the event, go new event, select the OJ. That's really very easy to work with VBCS. And here we have the reminder one, reminder button action chain created. Select action chain. Now we are done with our development. All these things are completed. Now it's time to go live this application or run the application. For executing this application, again go and here click on this one. Now this button, this page will be loaded and we are ready with all the operations. So suppose here the first number is 100 and the second number is 2. 100 plus 2, if we will click on this addition operation, it will show 102. You can see addition of 100 and 2 is 102. If I will click on this subtraction of 100 and 2 is 98. If we will click on this multiplication, you can see multiplication of 100 and 2 is 200. And if we will click on the division, you can see the division of 100 by 2 is 50. You can see the result variable updated. As we made this result input text as readable only, that's why we are not able to change the value. And again, if we will click on the remainder, you can see the 100 divided by 2 remainder will be 0. If we will mention 3, it will show as the remainder. You can see 1. If we will go and 35, remainder will be 30. So this is the way we can create the application. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any other queries and you want to ask anything, don't forget to make a comment. Thank you so much again.